Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Key service break to open the third set leads Coco Gauff to victory over Benci at the China Open. Beijing AP. Coco Gauff broke Belinda Bencic's serve to open the deciding set and went on to beat the Swiss player 4-6, 7-6, 4, 6-2 on Tuesday to advance to the China Open quarterfinals. The second-seeded Gauff improved her head-to-head career meetings with the 28-year-old Benci to 4-2. Copyright 2025 The Associated Press. All rights reserved. This material may not be published, broadcast, rewritten, or redistributed without permission. In a match that danced along the edge of momentum swings, mental fortitude, and elite athleticism, Coco Gauff once again showed why she's more than just a teenage sensation. She's a player who thrives under pressure, a fighter. At the 2025 China Open, in front of a buzzing Beijing crowd, Gauff clawed her way to a 3-set victory over Swiss powerhouse Belinda Bencic. But the moment that tipped the scale wasn't a booming forehand or a glittering ace. It was a single, seismic service break in the third set, a turning point that cracked open the match and allowed Gauff to surge through to the finish line. Let's step back and relive the drama. First set, Bencic sets the tone. From the very first rally, it was clear. Bencic wasn't here to play the role of stepping stone in Gauff's post-US Open Tour run. She came out swinging, painting the lines with her trademark aggressive baseline play. Her backhand, smooth, flat, and punishing, kept Gauff pinned behind the baseline. Gauff, who had been riding a wave of confidence since capturing her first Grand Slam title in New York just weeks prior, found herself on the back foot. Her first serve percentage dipped. Her footwork, typically electric, was slightly muted, perhaps a touch of jet lag, or perhaps Bencic's depth was just that good. The Swiss took the first set 6-4, earning a crucial break midway through and consolidating it with cold precision. It looked like she might have the formula to frustrate Gauff's rhythm, absorb, redirect, and attack. Second set, Gauff responds. But Gauff doesn't go away easily. If the first set was about Bencic's control, the second was about Gauff's resilience. She tightened up her serve, particularly on second deliveries. She began to dictate with her forehand, using the heavy topspin to push Bencic deeper behind the baseline, forcing shorter returns. A few net approaches sprinkled in, a page from her ever-growing tactical book, helped her diversify the play. What was perhaps most telling was Gauff's body language. The shoulders squared, the eyes narrowed, the fist pumps became louder. She was locked in. With the score tied at 3-3, Gauff dug in during a marathon game on Bencic's serve. Several deuces, a missed challenge, a blistering cross-court winner, and finally a break. The crowd erupted. Gauff consolidated and eventually took the set 6-3. We were going the distance. But no one knew yet that the heart of the match, the real battle, was still to come. Third set, the crucible. Tennis at this level is often won not just by the best strokes, but by the best nerves. The final set began with both players holding serve. Gauff was efficient, rolling through her games quickly. Bencic, meanwhile, began to show signs of tension. A couple of double faults here, a misfired forehand there. Still, she held firm. The set stayed on serve until 3-3. And then came the moment. The key break. 3-3, final set. It started innocently enough. Bencic at the baseline, serving at 3-3. First serve, fault. Second serve, cautious. Gauff pounced, stepping in and cracking a return deep to Bencic's backhand. The Swiss mis-hit it wide. 15-0 Gauff. Bencic shook it off. Next point, another second serve. Gauff again dictated, pushing Bencic into a defensive slice that floated just long. 30-0. The pressure building. At 30-15, Bencic went for a big first serve, net. The second was loopy, and Gauff took her time before ripping a forehand down the line. Winner. 30-30. Now the tension was undeniable. Bencic took an extra second before bouncing the ball. She went for a body serve. Gauff returned it with depth. They rallied, but Bencic overcooked a forehand wide. 30-40. Break point. What followed was a point that encapsulated everything about Gauff's rise, her anticipation, her athleticism, her fearlessness. A long rally ended when Gauff sprinted wide for a running backhand and flipped it cross-court for a winner. Her signature shot. The crowd rose. Her box exploded. Gauff broke. 4-3, final set. But more importantly, momentum fully shifted, closing the door. Once Gauff had the lead, she never looked back. The next service game was clinical. Aces, wide serves, unreturnables. Benci, perhaps rattled, threw in another loose game, and before the scoreboard had caught its breath, it was 6-4. Match over. Arms raised. A quiet fist pump. No over-the-top celebration. Gauff knew this was one of those matches you just survive. One of those battles where your mental game becomes your most lethal weapon. The break that changed everything. In tennis, we often focus on the final score, the trophy lift, or the highlight reel shots. But true followers of the sport know that matches hinge on key moments, sometimes just a single break of serve in a high-pressure third set. That service break at 3-3 wasn't just about Gauff outplaying Benci. It was about imposing will, about saying, "This match is mine now." The courage to step in on returns, the willingness to play aggressive when most would get tight, the belief that no moment is too big. That break defined a match. Post-match reflections. Speaking after the win, Gauff was candid. Benci played an incredible match. I just told myself to stay aggressive. That break at 3-3 was huge. I think that's where I really believed I could take it. For Benci, it was a tough loss. She acknowledged Gauff's composure. Coco played the important points better. I had chances, but she raised her level when it mattered. It's a script we've seen before. Opponents playing great tennis, only to be stonewalled by Gauff's poise and grit. A glimpse into the future. With this win, Gauff advances deeper into the China Open, bolstering her year-end rankings and further cementing her position as a major threat on any surface. More importantly, matches like these, tough, tight, and emotionally draining, are the kind that forge champions. That one service break might not make headlines like a Grand Slam final, but in the arc of a champion season, it's the kind of moment that defines character. For Coco Gauff, still only 21, it's yet another brick in the fortress she's building, one pressure point at a time. Closing thought. Tennis is a game of inches, of nerves, of knowing when to strike. And on a warm evening in Beijing, Coco Gauff chose her moment perfectly. At 3-3 in the third set, with momentum hanging in the balance, she broke serve, and in doing so, broke open the match. It wasn't just a service break. It was a statement.